I'm Jessica. I am with Pickering Public Library, and I am here tonight with Lindsay, I think on this side, from Animal Services. And Lindsay, I don't know if you want to do a little introduction.
Sure. I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. This is for me, it's extremely exciting. The City of Pickering, as I'm sure you guys have read in the paper, we did just launch our pet support service programs. And the pet support program basically has three components. So the one we're going to talk a lot about today is working with Tammy and working with SafePet Ontario, and really trying to build our foster database and really try to educate and have you guys learn a lot about that need and how you guys are actually able to help out residents who live in Pickering, but also people who have been exposed to violent situations really all across Ontario. And so I love to talk, but I'm not going to talk because it's not about me. But before we get started, we do have two counselors who have been very supportive of animal services in the programs. So I'm just going to let Deputy Pickles have a quick, have a quick little chat and introduce you guys, and then we will get going after that.
Well, thank you, Lindsay, and I'm glad to be able to join you tonight. For those who don't know, I'm David Pickles, Deputy Mayor, Regional Councillor for Ward 3 in the City of Pickering. So on behalf of Mayor Ryan and my colleagues on council, I'm pleased to bring greetings on behalf of the City of Pickering. And I know we have City Councillor Maurice Brenner on here as well. And we were talking just before we went live, both Councillor Brenner and I have adopted from the Pickering Animal Services. And I think all members of council actually have pets, whether they be cats or dogs or a combination thereof. So I'd like to thank all those in attendance tonight for taking the time to participate in this meaningful event. I'd also like to thank Pickering Animal Services, SafePet Ontario, Victim Services of Durham Region, and the Pickering Public Library for this important initiative that will assist people and their beloved pets when fleeing domestic violence. So this program helps survivors seek safety while ensuring their pet or pets receives proper care. Tonight, you will learn what Pickering Animal Services and SafePet Ontario are doing to help those in need in our community and how you can become involved. So enjoy the session and stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Brenner, did you want to say a few words?
That's great. Thank you, Lindsay. And thank you, Deputy Mayor Pickles. First, I want to say how excited I am with this new initiative by Pickering Animal Services. This is not just something that's going to benefit us in the community, but going to benefit, as Lindsay said, right across Ontario. And it's great to be leaders when it comes to being a pet-friendly community, which is what our city really is. I'd also like to say to everyone, as Vice Chair of the Pickering Library, that we are also very proud to be partnering today with Pickering Animal Services and the City of Pickering. And nothing else much to say other than, Lindsay, over to you and start the show.
Right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to Tammy. I'm sure you guys will enjoy what Tammy has to say. We do have the chat open, so if you guys do have questions, we will make sure that they get addressed. And I'm sure there'll also be opportunities at some point to make sure that all of your questions, if you want to ask them later on as well, we can also address that.
Perfect. All right, can everybody see my screen? We're good to go? Perfect. Thank you guys so much for inviting me tonight to speak with you all. I appreciate every single opportunity to spread the need for this program. And I can't tell you how excited I am to have met Lindsay, to now be working directly with her, and to have Pickering Animal Services on board with the initiative. So for tonight's presentation, we're going to be discussing a few main areas. I just want to quickly say that while we are talking about very sensitive subject matter, at no point in time do I show graphic images. So my quick PSA for the day, no graphic images, but we will be talking about some sensitive elements. What I would like to discuss with you all tonight is why there is a need for this type of program. We're then going to dive into what SafePet Ontario is, how it works, and the various ways you can choose to become involved. Now, first and foremost, we need to understand why this program is even needed to be able to understand why we need you to come together. For the most part, most of our general population does not realize that in situations of abuse, actual or threatened animal abuse can be a way for an abuser to silence a victim about an incident or to prevent them from leaving a violent relationship. An abusive party may kill, hurt, or threaten a pet in order to coerce or exert power and control over that human victim. Many survivors of violent situations will not leave that environment if they cannot take their pet with them to safety. Many victims choose to stay, endure abuse, become a human shield to protect their beloved companion animal from direct physical harm. The unfortunate reality is that for many individuals in abusive situations, there are very few options for fleeing and staying together with their pet. Pets that are left behind are at risk at being injured or killed in retaliation, or may be threatened to coerce the survivor to return, which creates an extraordinarily dangerous and potentially deadly situation. Now, whenever possible, I love statistics. I love real data, and I use it whenever I can. We are extraordinarily lucky to have a very, very brilliant group right in Canada. So the Animal Interpersonal Abuse Research Group is headed up by Dr. Amy Fitzgerald out of the University of Windsor. She is a PhD in criminology. So the stats I'm about to talk to you about are from one of her studies. Now, these stats are specifically from women who were lucky enough to get a bed at a women's shelter. The reality is abuse and violent situations affects everybody in our community. It's not just men versus women. So please keep that in mind. What her study has indicated is the following. 56% delayed leaving due to fear for their pet's safety. 47% would have left earlier if they could have taken their pet with them. 1 in 3 considered returning to the abusive party because he had their pet. 89% reported animal maltreatment. That's almost 90% reported animal maltreatment. So in violent environments, pets are also abused. Further to that, 47% returned to the abusive party to care for their pet. The most notable that was in the news recently was a situation in Vancouver, BC, where a woman returned to care for her 2 horses. That turned into a catastrophic situation. The abusive party took her life, took the horse's life, and then took his own life. We cannot allow that to happen. It's extraordinarily dangerous. Last but not least, 75% would not even go to a shelter because they could not take their pet with them. This is very real. This is Canadian data. This is happening in every single community across the province. Now, when I talked about the 89% stat, I want to dive into that a little bit more in detail. What you're looking at on your screen comes from Dr. Fitzgerald's study. You'll notice the severity does decrease, luckily, but at the same time, people were indicating it was 3 or more types of abuse of what you're seeing on your screen in front of you. We are dealing with very, very difficult, violent situations. Now, why on earth do I want to talk about COVID-19? I think we're all sick of it, but we have to talk about it because it has created an absolute perfect melting pot for family conflict. The mandatory stay-at-home orders mixed with financial stress, regular stress, and now being in your home with your family all the time has created a perfect storm. Usually, the abusive party would be going to work. There would be separation. Now they are confined. The first time the government released the restrictions on Canada Day of last year, we immediately saw our enrollments skyrocket. Usually people wait to leave their dwelling in order to call or text for assistance. Now they're no longer able to do that. On your screen in front of you is something I just want to talk about briefly. Usually when I'm presenting to the general population, people don't quite understand how these situations can occur. What we need to understand is an abusive party will seduce and charm and then isolate and abuse. What you're seeing in front of you is called the Duluth Power and Control Wheel. Every single category on the screen in front of you, the pet can be added in there. Whether it's using economic abuse, not allowing them to go to a vet, not allowing them to get treated for an injury, or using isolation. We had a case the other day where an elderly victim wasn't allowed to see her cat if she didn't sign over her ODSP checks. Every single category can include a pet. We're dealing with a lot. It's not just a one-time thing. These situations evolve and they get worse over time. There are 4 main outcomes when somebody does not have an option to flee with their pet. Number 1, they'll be forced to surrender that pet. That perpetuates the cycle of abuse, and it is tearing apart families. Number 2, releasing them as a stray. For those people who know they need to leave, it is a life and death situation. They may choose their pet, they may decide that their pet has a better opportunity if they're not confined to that abusive environment, and they may release them so that they have an option, and hopefully they'll be picked up by a kind, compassionate individual. Number 3, when they choose to stay, they are staying because they have no option for their pet. What we're looking at is continued abuse, neglect, and possibly death. Number 4, when they are left behind at the hands of the abuser, any one of the above 3 options could occur. By far, the most common is number 3. Throughout all of the research and studies that have been done, people are staying for months longer, not hours, not days, for months longer, and it becomes extraordinarily dangerous for them. With all that being said, what on earth are we doing about this? What exactly is SafePet Ontario? SafePet Ontario began in 2003. At that time, it was a direct partnership between the Ontario Veterinary Medical Association and the Violence Against Women Shelters. Since that time, it has evolved substantially to keep up with the need and the demand in the community. The SafePet network provides the necessary veterinary care and foster placement for the duration of the human's transition to safety. When the human client is safe, secure, and able to accept their pet back into their home, we reunite them so they can move into a better future together. This program was quite literally built by volunteers in our community. It's a program for our community and is truly a community's response to ending violence. Our mandate is to get both people and their pets to safety sooner, to keep loving families together, which does include our furry, feathery, and sometimes scaly family members. For some, their pet could have been their only source of love and comfort, and their only source of happiness. Nobody should have to choose between their safety and that of their beloved companion animal. We are dedicated to being a refuge for these people and their pets, to keep them out of our humane societies, and to give them a chance to move into a better future together. Our goal is to once and for all break that cycle of violence. Now, that all sounds great, but how on earth are we going to accomplish that? SafePet lives in between all of the human agencies that are already dedicated to helping people when they are the most vulnerable. We sit right in the middle there between the animal agencies like Pickering Animal Services that are dedicated to helping pets when they are the most vulnerable. We are utilizing technology. We are all about cross-sector integration, collaboration, and communication. We are working with the resources that already exist in your community, and we are uniting your community so that we can combat this and we can fight it together. Luckily, the program is really quite simple. Let's review the basic steps to how the program works. Step 1, anybody who needs assistance enrolls online at safepet.ca. An enrollment form is all it takes to enter your pet into the program. Once that enrollment form is verified, we then take those pet details and we match them to a foster family. Step 3, that is where the pet goes to a vet or one of our transfer agents like Pickering Animal Services, and that is where our foster family picks them up. This is our website. When you have a moment, please visit it. The odds are, with our stats indicating 1 in 4 women and 1 in 3 men will experience abuse within their lifetime, we all know somebody that could utilize this program. If you know somebody, or if you think you may know somebody, please direct them to our website. It's full of information of what we do, how we do it, and how they can access care. For those who need care, they go to our website, they click on Need Our Help, and then they get to our enrollment form. We don't ask a lot of personal data. We rely on our referring agencies to take care of the human end of the equation so we can take care of the pet end of the equation. That enrollment form gets automatically updated into our database. We have a custom-built database to track everything we do in the SafePet program. So we know who we're helping, where we're helping, the duration of stays, and most importantly, when we are not able to help, so that we're able to grow and involve the program strategically so that we can help as many people and pets as possible. It is also incredibly important to note we have the immense support of our veterinary community. Every single pet being enrolled into the program gets a complimentary wellness exam, gets any needed immunizations updated prior to being transferred to their foster family. We also have the absolutely wonderful Farley Foundation in our corner. So Farley is a provincial-wide charity that assists traditionally low-income individuals with emergency medical funding. For us, they sponsor every single pet. All of our SafePet clients automatically qualify for Farley funding in cases of emergencies. So if I have any people on today's call and you are curious about signing up as a foster, please know we've got your back. Anything from an eye infection to an ear infection to something more serious is fully covered by Farley. Farley is also amazing, and I can't thank them enough. They have provided us with a very special category for spay and neuters. A lot of the times pets are entering care and they are unaltered. And that is usually because the abusive party has not allowed that person to get veterinary care. If the client is willing, and 80% of the time they are willing, we will do everything possible to get it covered or a low cost or no cost spay or neuter. Now, from the safety side of things, we have run this program for almost 2 decades, and because of that, we have learned a ton. For those who are considering being involved in the program, one of the things we do that is absolutely essential is we do not place a pet in a foster family near the abusive party. For those who are not incarcerated, and that is the vast majority of our cases, we need to know the location of that individual, especially for dogs, but we do it for all of our pets. You will never be placed with a pet if the abuser is in the known area. Usually what we're doing are a couple cities over at times. Sometimes it's anything from Milton to Guelph, or we did one the other day where we placed a pet from Whitby to Toronto. We're creating a safe geographical buffer zone. Becoming involved. This program is all about the community. When we all lift a little, we can lift a much heavier weight. There are a variety of ways you could choose to participate. The whole goal for this program is the more people aware that this is going on in our communities, the more people willing to step up and speak up, the better off we will all be. As I mentioned earlier, Violence does not discriminate. It is not just women against men. We are helping any individual who is fleeing a violent situation. It's domestic violence, intimate partner violence, human trafficking, elder abuse, and child abuse. We've had every single one of those cases come through the SafePet program. So what does that mean for you? If you want to be involved, if you want to learn more, what do? Awareness is the first step. We are here to help. Knowing who we are, knowing why we exist is really your first step. So you've already checked that box. After that, what I would ask of you is please visit our website. Consider enrolling as a volunteer. If you have Facebook, find us online. SafePet Ontario has its own Facebook page. You would not believe how many enrollments have come from a simple Facebook post, somebody not knowing of the program and being tagged. It could, in fact, save a life. The next one, we have had so many elder abuse cases recently. Our elderly neighbors, it's very hard to reach them. If you have elderly neighbors, please check in on them. I'm not saying bang down their door. I'm just saying if you have the opportunity, please check in on them. Talking about their pets is a great way to get your foot in that door where they may be willing or comfortable to talk with you about something else. They are one of our most vulnerable demographics, and they are one of the hardest ones for us to reach. The second way you could help, your organization, your business. Could you guys help? Would it be possible to do a presentation? Would it be possible to onboard more people? The more people who are aware, the better. The goal here is really awareness. If there's a possibility to integrate or collaborate, I am all ears. I will never say no to help. Literally never. Join our learning portal. That is a great way to learn more about the program, or set up a time to speak with me further on how you could help or how you could integrate with our provincial-wide network. The final way, volunteer your time. You choose your level of involvement. You don't have to be a foster family. It helps us immensely to have a really deep foster family bench. You don't have to. You can volunteer in other ways. Every single form you need to enroll or to learn more is found on safepet.ca. That is a lot of information in a very brief period of time. So I'll open it up. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. I am more than happy to answer them now, or if you'd like to email me directly, I can be reached. My email will show on the next slide, or you can call me anytime.
And there's a weird light on.
Final thoughts about the process of it, SafePet in general, animal services in general.
Any questions? If after this talk you're not sure where to go or what to do, you can reach out back to Jessica at the library. You can reach out back out to myself, Lindsay over at Animal Services. And if you can't track Tammy down, I can definitely provide you with her email address and guide you and sort of send you in that way. So you shouldn't be lost. There's every way. And if you forget how to reach any of us, if you just go to the Animal Services website and you send an email in, it comes to me and I'll be able to help you out.
Amazing. And because May is Responsible Pet Month, we do have a few other programs that are coming up that will be really exciting for you. I have a bandana on my desk. We do have a bandana program coming up if you haven't registered for it. It is, I should have brought up the dates ahead of time to be extra prepared. But near the end of May, it is going to be,
I think it's the 17th. Unless I'm making that up.
That sounds like it could be that.
19th.
19th.
I was close.
You can register for that program where you will be able to pick up a kit that has a bandana in it for your they do fit on cats. I put them on my cat. He didn't love it, but he looked really handsome. So for your dog or cat, we do have small, medium, and large. So make sure that you fill out the form. Just let us know what size you want. That has some vinyl decorations on it that you can put on it and customize it for your pet. We also have 2 amazing talks that are coming up as well. So we have a talk on COVID-19 and your pet, which is going to be focused on how the pandemic is affecting pets, as well as ways that you can start thinking about what's going to happen with your pet when things go back to the new normal and you are not attached to the hip with your pet all day, every day, like we tend to be right now a little bit more. So that is happening May 25th. We also have a Citizen Canine Real Pups in the Real World project or workshop that is coming up. So that is going to be focusing on puppies. So a lot of people got puppies during the pandemic, which is absolutely amazing and super exciting. And then you realize that socializing a puppy during a pandemic is a little hard. So that is what's going to be discussed in this presentation, is looking at common issues all puppy parents have to deal with, and then how that's impacted with the pandemic as well. So that is happening June 2nd. So please make sure that you register for these programs. And we also have, I feel like I'm on an infomercial a little bit, is the podcast that we're going to be starting soon to record. The Pickering Library and Animal Services are going to be creating a mini-series podcast about adoption stories and success, and how we all kind of connect to the animal world. So it'll be very exciting. You can check out the pickeringlibrary.ca/podcast. We only have our We Listen podcast up there right now, which is our podcast geared towards children. So we have story times that are screen free because everyone is a little tired of looking at monitors and screens all day, every day. So if you need a podcast to listen to and you love listening to kid stories, that's it for you. Any other questions or anything before we head out for the evening? And there is big thank yous happening in chat. I just would like to second those appreciations. Again, the library is always in awe with what Pickering Animal Services has been doing, is doing. There are a bunch of programs that they do with children as well, reading to pre-pandemic, they had kids in this shelter reading to pets, so they were able to strengthen their literacy skills as well as their confidence in reading, which is absolutely amazing. And then being creative through the pandemic, programming with the library as well has been amazing. So if you do need any information about animal services, you can always go to pickering.ca to find out what resources are available for you in Pickering. And big thank you to Tammy with SafePet Ontario. Like, just, it is so nice to see how much support is going to individuals in need in the community, and just how many people you are able to help, both it's just so heartwarming. It's just a nice heartwarming time. And that's amazing. Thank you so much for everything that you do. So if you do have any last minute questions, you can definitely stick around. If not, we all hope that you have a lovely evening. Go snuggle pets that you have. Go fill out the foster form online. And we will see you at the next program.
Thank you.